Blatnaya romance attracts many people. Some even move up the criminal career ladder. A few become the so-called thieves-in-law, the elite of the criminal world, one of its leaders to whom absolutely everyone listens. Many people think that the thief in the law, it is easy and simple, which of course is far from true. Real thieves in the law must live by the concepts, otherwise at a meeting of other thieves they can even raskoronovat. Most people want to live in a human way, enjoy benefits, get married, have children, etc. But a real thief cannot do this. Even a permanent relationship with a woman cannot be acquired. It is very hard, and not everyone can do it. But thieves in the law are also different. Someone adheres to the rules, someone does not, and even there are those whose status just bought and lives further ordinary life. Thieves in the law, old temperament is almost non-existent. Many of them have already retired from business and live ordinary lives. Most of them are not distinguishable from ordinary pensioners. Current lawmen live by the concepts only partially. Rarely among them you can find a true follower of Blatnaya romance who will strictly follow the rules. What to say about those who have bought this status? They are called loroshniki, or oranges. They, moreover, do not live by the rules. But nevertheless, there are thieves in the law. They are often in prison, but they are often on the outside. Here they need something to do and something to live on, and most often they continue to spin in the criminal environment. Thieves' law. Thieves' law, or Blatny concepts, are norms of behavior and certain rules that apply in the thieves' community throughout the territory of the countries of the former USSR. It appeared in the 1930s. Then there was a severe famine in the country. Collectivization was taking place, so the bandits became more cohesive and began to organize groups. The main idea of cohesion is disobedience to the state and the authorities. Among such groups were their leaders, a kind of thieves-in-law. They called themselves the guardians of criminal traditions. Naturally, certain rules and even whole codes of behavior, traditions, norms of behavior began to develop among such people. They did not accept social rules and norms, including the need to have a family, the strictest prohibition to cooperate with the authorities, and even more so with law enforcement agencies. It is worth noting that strict observance of such traditions led to the fact that the criminal community was practically destroyed by the 40s. Especially with the beginning of the Great Patriotic War, many thieves in the law joined the ranks of the defenders, which is inadmissible according to the concepts. This led to the famous Bitch War, when the thieves who arrived from the front came into confrontation with those who did not fight. Thieves in law, and not only, have certain rules, how they should behave on the outside and in prison. Violation of these rules entails punishment. Thieves must uphold and abide by the concepts of Blatnaya. One must be honest with each other. It is also necessary to involve new people, mainly young people, into the criminal environment. It is unacceptable to work for special services and law enforcers. It is forbidden to engage in any political activity, to contribute to the establishment of power of Blatnois in pre-trial detention centers and penal institutions. A thief in law must not admit guilt, testify, must maintain order in prison, establish tribute in prison, honor his parents, not to be registered at the place of residence. It is forbidden to take revenge in disguise, must play fair at cards among themselves. It is forbidden to rape women, steal from one's own. It is forbidden to insult people, to support family people in prison, to honor elders, not to raise a hand against black thieves who live according to the concepts. In general, there are quite a lot of prohibitions, but everyone is human and not everything is executed. This was especially true in the 90s and early 2000s. Then, new bandits began to come into the criminal environment en masse, who did not live according to the concepts, but engaged in so-called lawlessness, which the New Age thieves tried to fight against. At the same time, by the way, oranges began to appear en masse, who wanted respect, but did not want to earn it, so to speak, in an honest criminal way. If a thief in the law does not adhere to the rules, he must be punished. For the most serious violations, for example, stealing from the common pool, he may even be killed. The inevitability of the law is a good incentive not to break it, and also has a good effect on the cohesion of the team. There are three peculiar stages of punishment. The first is punishment for minor offenses. It can be a slap from another thief-in-law made publicly. The second is punishments for big offenses. It can even be a slashing up to the transfer to the rank of men. The third, special provinces, which are usually punishable by death. By the way, if a person is not a thief in the law but is blatny, then the sanctions are a little softer, and death is almost never applied. How old-school thieves lived on the outside. That the thieves of the old school lived according to the concepts, it is not worth saying. On the outside, they enjoyed authority in the criminal world. They had almost nothing and lived by the principle of steal, drink, go to jail, if they got caught, of course. Georgi Chikovani, nicknamed Gogi, recalled that if you stole something, you lived well. If there was nothing to steal, you stayed hungry. And those close to Andrei Krylov, Kryl, recall that the latter did not have money for a cup of coffee. Many of them could live very richly, but they honored the thieves' traditions and therefore were most often in need. Stepan Silic, a thief-in-law from Novosibirsk, for example, lived in a small house, and his furniture was a sofa and a stool, and he was so respected that they even tried to support him financially, but he always refused. Many people lived like that. They had only the bare necessities. But it is also worth noting that some of the thieves used Obshakov's help, and they even had cars, also Obshakov's. Most of the thieves in the law were indifferent to the creation of a family, but it should be noted that some still had one. For example, such legendary thieves as Korz, Vasya Buzulutsky, Rostik had neither wife nor children, but they had cohabitants. If we take thieves-in-law from Georgia, almost all of them had families. Children of such thieves-in-law often did not see their fathers for a long time, for obvious reasons. Of course, it is not allowed to have a family, but many turned a blind eye to this, because everyone is human, and everyone wants simple family happiness, not to wander alone in the world. Many lawmen got too much into alcohol and simply became drunk. This ended up with heart problems, and every binge ended in hospital. But also, quite a few thieves in the law were contemptuous of such a bad habit and did not even smoke. Most of the thieves already had health problems. Prison is clearly not good for them. Modern thieves in the law. There are practically no old-school thieves left. Modern lawmen adhere to the concepts are not particularly zealous. They enjoy all the benefits of humanity, and often they can be seen in luxury cars, at expensive resorts, etc. If a person who does not know them looks at them, he would think that he met just a successful businessman. In fact, they are. Such people are businessmen, but with some peculiarities in the form of a maintenance business, for example, brothels, various call centers, etc. They also have families and do not do it secretly. Most of them are quite happy family men. Of course, there are those who try to adhere to and, moreover, revive the old thieves' traditions. But such people are very few and spend most of their time in prisons and seldom come into contact with the new generation of thieves in the law.